I recently turned 26, so here are 26 books I recommend. I'm going to keep this video snappy, so if you want to know anything more about any of these books, comment down below. Number 1, If Cats Disappeared from the World. This is my favourite book, please go and read it. Cheating Death, Stealing Life. This is the autobiography of Eddie Guerrero. It was written shortly before he died, and as you can tell, I love wrestling, I love Eddie Guerrero, and it gives you a really great insight into him as a person. Number 3, The Road by Cormac McCarthy. You probably don't need me to tell you about this book, it's extremely famous. Number 4, Grief is a Thing with Feathers by Max Porter. It's so interesting and so unique, and it was a debut book, I believe. Number 5, Sif Prayer by Khaled Hosseini. This book made me cry. It was the first book I read this year. It's very short, it's a picture book. Please go and read this. Number 6, White Tears, Brown Scars by Ruby Hamad. This is a book I think is absolutely required reading for everyone. Number 7, Things Fall Apart by Chinua Achebe. It is the first Achebe book I read, and it gives you a very interesting look into how empire and colonialism just destroyed people as a society and the individual. Number 8, Fahrenheit 451. Of those 3 big dystopian novels they make you study at school, 1984, Fahrenheit 451 and Brave New World, Fahrenheit 451 is the one I enjoyed the most / hated the least. Number 9, The White Tiger. I don't think this book is perfect. I enjoyed it because it does show you the effects of capitalism on an individual and how it can lead them to do just horrendous things. They did make a movie adaptation of this. It was fine. This isn't the best book I've read, but it's an interesting look into that. Disney War by James B. Stewart. I'm not the biggest fan of Disney as a corporation and their stuff they make, but this is a very interesting look into the corporation and the infighting within and how it formed and how it has shaped the landscape of entertainment. Number 11, Norwegian Wood by Murakami. I will add a caveat to this that this used to be a book I loved when I was 18, 19 years old. I've grown up and I've grown out of this book. I would say in Murakami fashion, it doesn't write women very well. They're kind of a vehicle to tell the story of the man in some parts. Some of the female characters are well written, but some of them aren't written the best. Frankenstein, the 1818 text by Mary Shelley. I adore this. This is my favourite classic literature. Yes, there are parts which are a bit unsavoury, obviously, but this is my favourite classic literature piece, classic English literature. There was a great National Theatre production with Benedict Cumberbatch and someone else, and they flipped who was playing the monster and who was playing Dr. Frankenstein on the different performances they did. 13, Chavs, the demonisation of the working class. Owen Jones is a polarising figure in the UK at the very least. He does say some things that I agree with and some things that I don't. Sometimes he just says things the wrong way, but this book is actually very good at explaining what Britain did to create this underclass of chavs and how it's used as a derogatory term of an effect that has been caused by the upper class and the rich. Number 13, this is cheating, but all of the Lord of the Rings books, they're just very good world building. Yeah, they are a slog to get through, I will not deny that. Sometimes I hated getting through them, but world building that's very good. Lord of the Rings. Number 14, The Hen Who Believed She Could Fly by Sun Mi Huang. Oh my god, I read this, I believe, on a train journey. It made me cry. It hurts. Oh my god, it hurt. Iode on Iode by Richard Iode. This book is just the perfect way of writing comedy and satire. It's incredible. Richard Iode is incredible. Number 17, Manga in Theory and Practice by Araki. Araki, creator of JoJo. This is extremely interesting. Even if you don't want to write manga, if you're just a writer in general or a creator, some of the stuff Araki talks about is spectacular and very insightful, and a very good way of studying how to go around being such a long-standing creator. Number 18, Do Not Let My Past Be Your Future by Henry Leslie Smith. This book tells you a lot of what Britain was like before the NHS was created and before we started to move towards a more progressive society when it came to our social welfare, and it's sadly, the title is becoming true, how this country is reversing that and is moving away from a country that supports its worst off to demonizing them. Natives, Race and Class in the Ruins of Empire by Akala. Akala is a intellectual man, a very interesting man, a great writer, and again tells you very much about how Britain was built on race and class and how certain people were put down by certain classes and certain races in this country. Number 19, Africa's Tarnished Name by Chinua Achebe. Again, another Achebe book. It is one of the Penguin's little modern classics books. It's a collection of his essays, I believe. It's incredible. It's very interesting. There's one piece in there that I'd like to quote and go back to. It's all about the person who wrote Heart of Darkness. It's not Coleridge, it's Conrad something. Number 20, Miyazaki World by Susan J. Napier. A very interesting look and study into how Miyazaki, and a very interesting insight into what was going on in the background when certain amazing films were being created. A New Formation by Callum Jacobs. I know I've mentioned this book like 5 times, but I think it's so important and so interesting, especially if you like football. Number 22, you know what, let's put Macbeth in there, the play that shall not be named, the Scottish play. It is one of my favourite Shakespeare's, so go and read it. Hush, you egg. I think it's quiet, you egg is the line. 23, To Kill a Mockingbird by Harper Lee. I know, everyone knows this book. It's studied everywhere. I studied it growing up. Don't read the sequel to this, but I think this book contained in itself, it's pretty good. You know, obviously there's some stuff about Harper Lee, which, you know, coming out the second book, you might be like, but To Kill a Mockingbird in itself, it's a very, you know, oh yeah, read this book. 24, a graphic novel, Mouse by Art Spiegelman. This book is being banned in the US, and it's disgusting that it is being banned. I think this is a graphic novel that everyone should read because it tells you more about the horrors of the Holocaust. 25, The 10 Loves of Mr. Nishino by Kawakami, because I can't make a list without including a Hiromi Kawakami book, and I think this is a very accessible one for people to get into her writing. It's great, it's got a very interesting premise, the way things link and go forward, and it's got a little touch of that Kawakami mysticism into it. 26, Wolf Brother by Michelle Paver. I loved these growing up. I wasn't a Harry Potter kid. I was kind of a Percy Jackson kid, but I was a Wolf Brother Chronicles of Ancient Darkness kid. And I think I read all of the books in that first series, but I believe she started adding more stuff later on as I got older and I didn't read them. But God, I loved the series growing up as a kid. And number 27, as a bonus and just in case I miscounted, Luigi at number 1 by Luigi Enthusiast, a book I bought after seeing a TikTok like 4 years ago or 3 years ago, and I don't remember why I bought it. I just thought it was funny. It's all about Luigi, and it may very well be copyright infringement, but it's funny. And those are the books I recommend you read. This video has taught me I need to adjust the ratings on my Goodreads, which you can follow me down below. If you have any thoughts on any of the books I've suggested, comment down below. And yeah, I'm 26 now. And for my birthday, you should like and subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I hope you read a great book today and many great books this year.